Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. How music will take over the Hedera NFT ecosystem. So this is something that caught my eye straight away because I've already seen that there's a few celebrities who've been trying to do, like music NFTs and things like that. And it has just got me wondering, how big can this really get? If you think of all of the real big name artists in the future doing NFTs with their music, how big could this get? And okay, let's not even just say just music, right? Let's just say some of these artists want to just do general art NFTs. It could be that they do some pictures and things like that and start releasing those as NFTs. The power of celebrity and fandom, the amount of value that would bring flowing through Hedera if some of these big celebrities were using the Hedera network to release these NFTs. I can only imagine what that could do for HBAR price. So as soon as I seen this, it really did take my interest, and I was very intrigued by it. And I really do think this is something that will happen in the future, and I think it's something that will be big for not just Hedera. I think there will be other platforms that people use, but we all know that Hedera is definitely one of the top platforms in regards to the crypto space. I think it's a fair point to say. I mean, it's one of the top 10 cryptos, right? So I think that's pretty much self-evident at this point. So let's just get into the article and then we can discuss this a little bit further. Music is a huge part of all our lives, but isn't represented in the broader Hedera NFT ecosystem, which is largely dominated by visual art. So why aren't music NFTs everywhere on Hedera? Metadata is the DNA of any NFT. It tells wallets, marketplaces, or dApps what's inside the NFT and what it does. Most NFTs are easy to display in people's wallets because they only feature a single image file. The problem is when an NFT becomes more complex and goes beyond just an image, it needs to work properly on different platforms, in brackets wallets, marketplaces, dApps, etc. And standards become the only proper solution. In the example of music NFTs, it's desirable to include multiple files with many different information fields, such as who is the artist, how many songs are there on the album, who played guitar on this song, should the wallet default to MP3 or WAV version. The same way that a vinyl record works on any record player, or an MP3 works in any audio player, tokenized music needs standards specifically for the metadata. Before we had general metadata standards for NFTs on Hedera, it was difficult for wallets, marketplaces, and dApps to accommodate all of the quirks and inconsistencies of early NFTs in the ecosystem. It's difficult to be creative when you don't know if your creations will be future-proofed. The good news is that we've solved this problem before. HIP-412 introduced general metadata standards for NFTs on Hedera and beyond, allowing creators, marketplaces, wallets, and dApps to get on the same page and innovate. Once these multi-file metadata standards were adopted, the entire Hedera ecosystem immediately saw a massive explosion in projects minting and migrating to the network. The fact is, standards work, but we need to go further. The music industry is complex. The fact is, the music industry is very complex, and HIP-412 alone won't be able to accommodate the nuances of music metadata. From the big labels to your local music scene, in the digital music age, it's all built on standardized metadata. Interesting to note, Web2 music metadata has actually been standardized for decades and can act as a guide for how we should be approaching the development of metadata standards for Web3 and more specifically on Hedera. However, there are apprehensions from the music industry and artists themselves that have prevented the mass adoptions of music NFTs. Musicians, labels, and producers aren't sure if the complex NFTs they make will be supported for the long term. Wallets, marketplaces, and dApps have no foundation to build music features. Without standards, NFT metadata will be fragmented. We have no interoperability with the quote, Web 2, unquote, music industry metadata and systems currently. We need to find those connections. Hello Music NFT metadata standards. Hedera is positioned for mass adoption by the music industry by already having HIP-412 NFT metadata standards to build on. NFTs are minted right to the protocol level without smart contracts, so the full benefits of the hashgraph are embedded in every product published by an artist. By integrating Web 2 music metadata that's already standardized, the key community leaders have already been working on this for months, with great progress. Say hello to the upcoming music NFT metadata standards. The Hashgraph NFT Working Group is a professional group composed of Hedera NFT community leaders and experts who are invested in the development of music NFT metadata standards. The group is also advocating for HIP-657, which will bring mutable metadata to NFTs on Hedera. With music NFT metadata standards, creators and builders on Hedera will spark a whole new wave, and music industry leaders and Web 2 musicians will have access to better tools and support. With the development of these music metadata standards, Web 3 creators will also be able to connect to the existing industry. Now all we need is more music. Okay, so there you have it. Interesting, really interesting, and it's good to see that, you know, Hedera had already adopted one thing that put them in a great position with regards to music, which was the HIP-412 standard. So that obviously already put them in a great position for the music adoption, and if they just continue to build on this, as they were saying, that's going to continue to help with their adoption. And this is what you got to think is, if you get these celebrities who want to work on Hedera in regards to releasing their NFTs, what's that going to do for HBAR, right? They're utilizing the hashgraph, which means they're going to have to utilize HBAR, so that can only help in terms of the value. And if you think of what these artists are doing in terms of music artists, you know, think about streaming, the amount of numbers that they can do. Think of how much value that would be bringing through the Hedera network. It can only mean good things for the price. It can only mean good things for HBAR, you know. And as you can see, Hedera have already got their foot in the door. So they're already in a great position for this. So again, I think this is a great thing that could be huge for HBAR and Hedera if they manage to utilize it properly, if they really keep their foot on the pedal here and keep their eye on the ball. This is definitely something that they can really capitalize off, and I think this will be very big for Hedera if they pull it off, which I'm confident they will, because they're already doing great things, and this is just another utility that will be great for them. So I think this is hugely interesting, and I think this is going to be great for Hedera and HBAR price overall. I'll definitely keep my eye on this. It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, overall definitely a huge thing here and a very positive thing for Hedera. But what do you guys think? Do you think the NFT music space is something that could be great for the HBAR price and can help Hedera long term? Would you not really think it's going to make much of a difference? Are you someone who might be interested in music NFTs, or is this not something that you'd really be keen on? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like and subscribe. But until next time, take care.